Alright, here's a quick update on the Hutchinson House Pollinator Garden that we got built with grant funding from the South Carolina Native Plant Society and the Carolina Butterfly Society. We're overdue for a weeding, but the plants are doing great. That's the upside of growing native plants that are essentially weeds. They grow like weeds. So our Giardia is coming up. It's just started blooming. We only got a little bit of American Wild Carrot to come up. But it's doing all right. We'll have to plant that again later next year. Indian grass is doing fine. We've got a woodland phlox buried down in here. As you can see it doesn't really like the heat too much. We'll have to find something else for that spot. The swamp milkweed and the one butterfly weed we got to come up are doing great. If they were going to bloom, now would be about the time. So we may see blooms out of that guy. Not certain, probably not this year. Rabbit tobacco's doing good. The sickle pod's taken off like a weed because it is a weed. Let's see, the obedient plant is doing all right. The atris is getting ready to flower. Self-heal is just finishing up blooming. The stokeisha's putting on a lot of leafage. And I think it's actually finished blooming for the most part. Ohio spiderwort's putting out another flush of flowers. Ooh, the blue mist flower's blooming. Or that may be, this may actually be azuratum. I don't think it's supposed to be blooming this early. Let's see, the golden alexander's hanging on. It doesn't like the heat. May have to find a replacement for it. Our scarlet hibiscus is putting on some height. The gladiolus are actually blooming quite late. They're about a month late. The cannas are still blooming. They're doing really well. The Thalia dealbata, the powdery alligator flag, is still doing pretty good. It's hanging on there. And our frog fruit's doing exactly what I wanted. It's spreading aggressively like crazy, and hopefully this should swallow up this whole front of the bed, and then we won't have to deal with weeds. Let's see, the golden mane coreopsis still has flowers. They should be finishing up. They were in full bloom back in May. Let's see, the Chapula river coreopsis looks like it might be trying to flower. Yarrow is still blooming. It's putting out another flush of growth. The swamp milkweed over here got hit really hard by monarchs, which is a good thing. They showed up and they ate it all the way down to sticks, and they're just barely coming back out. And so we put in 2 more to, try and give them a fighting chance. I'll have to come in here and spray the aphids some more. I'm just using a dish soap, vinegar, and isopropyl alcohol blend to knock down the aphids. Let's see, Elliot's asters doing really good. They're fluffing up. Swamp sunflower, or muck sunflower, I should say, Helianthus simulans, is doing really good, getting real stringy. They'll get about that tall, so they won't bloom till October pretty much. Joe Pye weed's doing all right. The hairy leaf cup is actually going to bloom. I just planted that back in April. I had to dig that up off the side of the road. Frostweed's putting on height. The black-eyed Susan are getting ready to be in full bloom here in the next week or so. Lance leaf coreopsis missed their bloom period, but they're doing pretty good. They're putting on a lot of mass. Let's see, the Carolina indigo is doing all right. That's a long-lived perennial, so they'll have a little bit more. They got a little bit more time before they start blooming. The Guatemalan indigo is actually just starting to bloom, so that's cool to see. Coral bean got hit by a late frost that we had, but it's coming back around. Let's see, that's just a landslave coreopsis that escaped. Had some other stuff, some other legumes planted over here, but none of the seeds were viable. Let's see, the lyre leaf sage, I think is still blooming off and on, but it's for the most part finished. And the scarlet sage is still going. And that's the garden. So, good signs all around. Got a couple of, weak areas that probably need to be reseeded, replaced with something else. But lots of flowers. And hopefully here by this fall, we should have an absolute profusion of butterflies. So yeah, come on out to the house and check it out.